Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the train. Choo choo. Please like, subscribe, and share. And share again. Yeah, I've been doing some really good deadlifts. Today, I almost fell. Today I actually did I don't know, woke up pretty obsessive for some reason, and I got up, it was like after 4, got out of bed, and then all of a sudden, like, I wasted all this time, and then at 6 o'clock, I obsessively started working out, which I normally don't do, but I knew I had plenty of time, so I ended up doing 5 sets of, I did 4 rounds of 5 sets in each round of, first exercise was 5 pull-ups followed by 10 push-ups followed by 5 lower chest dips. So, you know, so yeah, so I'm gonna definitely, I was definitely glad I did that because it was a pretty good workout. My back's like really sore. I was really focusing. I did variations of close-up. Close-up, or close-up, reverse pull-up, close pull-up, neutral pull-up, and wide pull-up, and reverse pull-up, I think I said. Yeah, so I was doing different variations. And a few times I did like 17, 20 push-ups, 6 dips a few times. But all in all, it was pretty much in the regimen that I was doing. I was going to do the exercise bike. Oh, this looks pretty good. That's pretty good. I was going to do the exercise bike, but I've been more in the mood to lift. The heck, man. All this crap all over me. Let me scoot in. Yeah. But, ended up being a pretty good workout. And then after that, just did some tricep kickbacks with 15 pounds, like 10, 12 reps, kind of focusing, squeezing it. Now I'm going to start trying different things. A lot more calisthenic based. A lot more stuff like I was talking about, nickels and dimes, and oh wow, this is like so hard not to like squeeze out of here. Oh, that's why. Alleviate the pressure. There we go. Duh. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, with the benching and the deadlifting and the squats, and the hard is going on the bike between non-resistance and resistance. Do a lot of pull-ups and dips. Really made for a solid program there. But I'm tight, but like when I was doing push-ups this way, when I was looking at my shoulders, like flexed out, they were looking like a guy that was on juice if I look like that regular. So it's like it sucks when the muscle, like I was looking, I was like all striated, it like pumped up, and then it looked like twice the size of the position I was in, like this, the angle. I was like, damn, man. And I was like really going to the floor and I like try to push against the floor. So sometimes I like doing stuff like the nickels and dimes is faster, you know? So you're going more for beating like time. But like I feel like when I'm doing like the segment I just told you about, the 3 exercises in a row 5 times, trying to go without stopping, but I may rest up a minute or two here and there, because in those workouts I want to focus more on the concentration of the pull-up, the squeeze, kind of going down slower, you know, because it's small, it's lower reps, so it like allows me to get a different type of rigorousness in there that I wouldn't be doing on other things. Same with the push-ups, same with the dips, you know. So it's like you really want to focus. That's really good. Sorry. And sometimes that focusing helps. I have a problem with mind muscle connection, feeling it. Sometimes I do, and when I do, I feel like I get a better workout, you know. Not to mention, I see a little juice in there. Not to mention, probably won't eat most of this bread here, actually. I think I'm just going to put that egg in this. Oh. Also. Maybe not, it tastes good. I love eggs. These are farm eggs from a local farm in town. And they're so good. Don't give me any stomach. And sometimes it's like, this is all I haven't eaten yet. It's the first thing I've eaten since the gelatin coffee in the video I did for Charles Craw. Shout out. Oh yeah, shout out Charles Craw. Hold on, we got shout outs. So I haven't eaten anything, and that was only 20 calories. Maybe about 25, 30 calories, because I put a little cream and had a little sugar in it, because I got to get some just regular cream, and I didn't have it. And that's all I had, and it's one. So that I started eating. But hold on. Yeah, almost one. Whoops, sorry, yeah. Almost one since I started eating. You know, so I mean, yeah, so I mean, I think I stopped eating yesterday, like, I don't know, after I don't know, like 7, 8, 6 maybe, 5, 6, I don't know, 4, 5. So that was kind of a good fast then. Yeah. All right, we're going to do some shout outs while we're eating. All right, my man. Well, shout out Marcus P. Always shout out Charles Craw. Thank you, my brother. I'm sorry. I just didn't know. The way I was reading your comments, it seems like I was sensing frustration in the switch over, and that you just kind of, like, you were interested, but you weren't, but you didn't want to, like, hurt my feelings in a way and diss your support. So I'm going to try to do stuff special for you, because you've done a lot for me. There's no reason why on my channel I can't do that. I'm a food channel. Whether I want to talk, whether I want to do a video on ASMR, or whether I want to do a video where I don't talk at all, it's all up to me. You know, it's all food. You don't have to always stick to one thing. And especially the way the views have been going, and everything else. I mean, I'm just trying a bunch of things. But I have a feeling, honestly, I may go back to ASMR. In due time, I may go back and try it again and see if I get... I'm going to go back to ASMR. This talking is a trial run, just like ASMR was. But now that I've seen a drop in everything, and the talking videos aren't getting much more either now. So, I mean, I may try ASMR again. I may actually try not speaking at all. I'll have to see. But I'm sure everybody likes it talking. So I bring good things to the table, you know? Let's go. So shout out to Craw, my man. Shout out to Pete. Shout out to Solius. Shout out to A Woody 24. Mayor Mike. Yeah, thank you, my brother. God bless you, man. Thank you for all the support as well. Shout out to William FN 1234. Shout out again to Charles Craw. Shout out to Scud Meds. Metal, my man. I call him Scud Meds. Scuds. Call him Scuds. So shout out to Scuds. All right, yeah, shout out to Marcus Pete. Shout out to Night 4745. Shout out to Mike NE17. He commented, I guess, on a couple of my lives. I wish he was on my videos, but... And shout out to G, who always loops. And I guess that's going to be it for now. But I definitely, as always, appreciate, you know, everything else, you know. Now we go shout out Don M. Shout out to Alan M. Good supporters as well. You know, it's all, like I said, it's all a process, you know. And within that process, really, I mean, comes trial and error, you know. My ASMR was blowing up. In a sense, I was getting, like, views where, you know, it was crazy. You see them later if you scroll down. Oh, what happened? I mean, I know I lacked a few videos when I went to my parents, and I started being more diligent at my parents, but I noticed sometimes there's more views here than there, but then sometimes there's more views there than here. So nothing's really consistent. Like I said before, my views were getting consecutively watched throughout the whole week, and then at the end of the week it would basically stop. So like every video that came out was being watched, like, so if this video came out today, it was being watched today through the next 6 days basically, along with the other ones. Now it seems like it's getting watched for the day, maybe a little over a day, less than 2 days, and then it stops. But, like I said, there's tons of people doing this stuff. So this, you know, my circle that I have, I love, but it's, you know, it's a small circle in the sense of, you know, the big guys that are out there. But I'm patient. Slow process. It's just a hobby. Something fun to do. I'm gonna eat anyways, right? So I might as well record it up. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Honestly. Only thing that makes sense. Oh, this is so good when you put in one of these little mayo. I love eggs with mayonnaise. I used to love egg sandwiches as a kid. My mom would scramble up, and she used to make them nice and fluffy. No burnt under the eggs, and she put mayonnaise on it and cheese, and it'd be just a egg and mayonnaise and cheese sandwich. Even without the cheese, but once the cheese was on it, it was just so good. This kind of reminds me of that. I miss the days like at home. I had some good times. I had some good times, great times. living at home. Really good fun times, good memories. Even some of the stuff I got in trouble for. Like I think I said before, I had a Jeep with 415s in it. And my parents were eating dinner. And I was coming home right at the time. And I was like, this is like 2002, 2003, I think 2002. And I was so ripped up. And there was a path. And I could get to the, basically drive through the path and then come through the front lawn, which had a hill to it. And I stopped right in front of the window where they were eating, and we had a Rottweiler at the time. And I put a bass CD in on the on a blurb that went, Droom! And it shook the whole house. And they looked, and my dad came running at the window, and he was like, "Mike, the pipes! You're gonna bust the pipes! The pipes, the pipes!" So I drove off, and I got yelled at for like, I guess, and I didn't think of it, but because he probably thought the weight of everything, but it didn't weigh that much. But obviously, he probably didn't know. I mean, I'm sure it was risky. He would know better than me. But like when you think about it now, you're gonna laugh at something like that. One time, I was really obsessive and like upset, and I had yard work to do. And I didn't want to do it, and I like threw a fit. And I remember I went in and grabbed the tractor, and I started like coming out of it like a bat out of hell. And I remember my mom was in the window washing dishes, and I looked at her, and I was peeling out strips of grass. She ended up calling my dad, saying I was out of control, and this and that. I got in trouble. I think I got grounded a little bit for that one. Yeah. I think I may have gotten in trouble pretty good for that one. But now when we talk about it, we're going to laugh about it, you know. But back then, I wish they had it on camera. You should have seen me. I was driving around the yard like the thing was a go-kart, and then peeling out because I would stop it, and I'd hit the brake as I was accelerating, and then I'd let off the brake, and the wheels would just spin up the yard. But I also did a lot of good. And I took care of the pool above ground when we had it. I took care of the beds for my dad, the flower beds. I cut them. I could de-weed them, till it up, mulch it, or peat moss it. So, I mean, I did a lot of help. I mean, I helped them a lot with shoveling and snow blowing and all kinds of different stuff. I may have complained a bit, but I did do quite a bit. I probably could have done a little more. Obviously, all kids could, but I did a bit. I did. I used to really enjoy mowing the lawn and doing the beds. I used to take pride in it because I used to make it look really nice for my age and my skill. Not doing it all the time, I used to make it look really nice. Those beds would come out almost pretty damn even the way I would cut them, and then mulch them. My dad would come home and he'd be like, "Mike, you did that?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I really tried for you." I remember this stuff that was so chock full of weeds, and going in there with the rake and raking the leaves out, and dodging some nests of bees sometimes, and you gotta be careful, because bees and everything was everywhere. And I used to do a good job. You would come home and see it totally different from what it was. The only thing I wasn't good at was trimming the hedges. So that was his job. I probably could have if I kind of tried and cared, but it was just something I didn't want to do. My dad was pretty good at that. My papa was too. But my dad, he was pretty good at trimming the hedges. He had a knack for that stuff. Pretty good at like building like furniture, tables, hutches, stuff like that. I remember he was pretty, I was curious why he never got into the mechanics, because he was always so handy. He could build stuff, he could build models, he could build computers, he could do all that. So I'm like, damn, man, you'd be able to figure out how to change brakes or how to change an axle or something. I'm surprised he never But, but yeah, he was pretty handy around the house. He changed the locks. He changed the, the cupboards, the doors, take them on and off, the windows, pop them out. I mean, he could do everything. He knew about all that stuff. It's weird. But, yeah, he knew about a lot. But I miss those younger years, Good times. It's not something you think you're going to miss. That's the crazy part. It's not something you think you're going to miss. Right? You don't think you're going to miss the younger years. But you do. Even though I got picked on and stuff, but now when I think about it, I was like, it was always cool. Holiday times, come home, Mom would have, because she was a stay-at-home mom for the most part. She worked. It was hours enough to be home when we were home. Or before we got home, I mean. Until we got older, like high school. We're in middle school, 2nd, 3rd grade, come home, like it was like November. She'd be decorating, Christmas carols on. Yeah, it used to be decorate the mantle by the fireplace, have the carols on. She'd always be in a real happy, jolly mood. It was so nice to come home to. I used to love doing that, coming home to that as a kid. It was awesome. I remember one time I was so obsessive, I used to run a lot in the hall. I got an office referral, and the guy put it on right outside the window. Luckily, my parents missed it. It was during open house, and he purposely did that to me. I was told twice, but because I used to get picked on, which I say a lot, but the reason why I used to run a lot was because I was just so neurotic. It would make me forget, and I got caught the 3rd time, got the referral. Was threatening something, but instead of the threat, I think it was, instead of getting suspended, he said since it's, which is probably the right way to do it, because I never did it after that again. Maybe once or twice, but I was more conscious of it. But he put the referral on the glass, and I kind of walked, when my parents were walking by it, I kind of walked by the glass, I remember. I think I distracted them. I remember that. It was crazy. These are really good. It was crazy. But yeah, I was careful after that. And then I remember coming home and feeling guilty and not saying anything, and then I would think Santa wouldn't come. So I believed in Santa Claus until 6th grade. And then my parents had to tell me, and I was devastated. I was a gullible kid. But I'll tell you, those Christmases were wonderful. When you believe like I did. It really, it was crazy. So we always went to church. It was a good time. Church, usually midnight mass sometimes. Always church on Christmas Day, or sometimes mass on Christmas Eve. Instead, not all the time, I don't think, but there were times I could remember. But can't say I agree with a lot of the Catholic ways, so it's kind of tough to. I don't know if I would go to a. If I was going to go back to church, probably be the Mormon LDS, Latter-day Saint, or a born-again type church. Maybe Baptist, too. Those would be the 3 picks. Or Orthodox Catholic, where I believe they can marry. That would be okay, too. But, just the whole non-marriage is what I don't accept. My father, he's Catholic, but in his particular type of faith, he doesn't, his priest can marry and have a family. Which is important. Because to be able to truly sit down and understand family matters, you gotta have a family. You gotta have that experience. Right? Right. How are you gonna deny that? Well, everybody, thank you all again. Appreciate you all. Thank you. God bless universally. T bless. Good brotherhood, good sisterhood. Brother to brother, sister to sister, brother to sister, sister to brother. And yeah, I thank you all for the time. You know, kind of is what it is. No, but I was working those push-ups, really pumping them. Towards the end, my heart rate, not by the watch said like 98, and I'm like, yeah, right. And I felt my pulse by 6, counted by 6, times it by 10. And I was definitely, if not 150, 151, then like 149. But I swear I got into the 150s. So that's pretty cool for when you're doing calisthenic training. All right, everybody. Peace out.